Welcome once again to the Attitude Show. Last week we had a maiden edition of this program, and the response that has been received has been so amazing. You are part of the change that we seek to make in Ghana. I am part, and we all have a role to play. We want to see a Ghana where when you decide to set up a business, it will thrive, it will grow, and then you will get people who will come in to support your vision, and at the end of it, make it possible for other people to get the opportunity to get employed. We will not sit, we will not stand, and we will not kowtow to bad attitude that has the propensity of collapsing businesses in the country. And that is why this show has come to stay every Friday, 7:30 to 9 p.m. and we are discussing the issues that will help shape this nation. Today is Friday the 2nd, the Easter edition of this show. Now, since this is a special day, let me open up with this quote. It says, "If there were no night, we would not appreciate the day, nor could we see the stars and the vastness of the heavens. We must partake of the bitter with the sweet." There is a divine purpose in the adversities we encounter every day. They prepare, they purge, they purify, and thus they bless. James E. Faust. This is a quote that is to inspire you as you sit, relax, and enjoy this show. Last week, I had here as my guest the visionary of this show, the person who had this burden on his heart to make sure to share his experiences with Ghanaians and to more or less champion this cause. You might call it a movement, you might call it whatever you want to call it, but the result is that we want to see a better Ghana. We had Hon.Kennedy Agyapong here with us last week, sharing with us why this program is vision, the change you want to see, the progress you want to see in the business sector, and how people who are suffering, throwing a lot of money trying to set up businesses, are faced with so many challenges that they'll have to give up. He wants to see this stopped and see businesses grow. I shared with you last week that when we talk about attitude, it just does not happen. It starts with your thoughts. What you think, it then grows to become your words. You speak it out. The more you speak it out, being it positive or negative, you put it into action. When you act on it, before you realize it has become a habit, every day you are repeating it. You are repeating it. Then it graduates from your habit to become a character issue. And that is where it starts to become dangerous when it is a negative attitude. When that becomes your character, definitely you are defining your destiny. So whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are an employee, whether you are government, you are in the position of making policies, taking decisions that will support other people in their endeavors. Whatever character you demonstrate there is going to be what is going to shape the destiny of people who come into contact with you. It could also become something that you actually or purposefully decide to take on. We realize that there are some people who just become envious of others, and they will go at any length, any extent to try and sabotage their business or collapse their business. What we are doing here is creating a learning platform. The things that you hear on this show, people queue, they pay huge sums of money. They go through all kinds of seminars, and they will have to pay money to hear the things that you hear. We spoke about how businesses in Ghana, when established, at least by the 10th year, is likely to fold up. 70% fold up after 3 years. The other 25 do not go beyond 10 years. And we realize also that people sometimes choose, and I'm choosing my words carefully, choose to die with their vision. So when they go, their businesses collapses. We learned last week that you can intentionally plan a succession for your business, that in the event you are no more, your business can still continue. And the Honorable shared specific examples of how he's going about his business and supporting people who are likely to take over. Again, you are learning new things. We are all learning new things. The question I want to ask you is, what is your teachability index? New things or new knowledge is coming up every Friday. Are you ready to apply them? Are you ready to learn them? And are you ready to accept whatever you hear? Give yourself a scale of 1 to 10. In any of it, when you score 0, definitely your teachability index is 0. If you are learning and you say, well, it's good information to me, but I will not apply it, so it's a 0, then you better not listen to this show. Yes, I'm learning, I will apply it, but I can't accept it. Then your teachability index is 0. So make sure you learn, you apply, you accept it. There are some other group of people I would also want to encourage. There are those who are in a state of unconscious incompetence. They don't know, but they don't know that they don't know. There are those who know that they don't know. There are those who belong to the conscious competence. They know that they are competent. And there are those also who belong to the unconscious competent. For them, things come at will. They are so competent that they don't even think about things they do because their actions flows. And when we talk business, I am sure that is where my guess is now. Unconscious competence. It happens. It's a character issue. It's part of a destiny. It flows. If you are able to get to that point, whatever you do thrives and grows. In the book, The Way of the Shepherd, Lehman and Pentak talks about knowing the shape of your flock. And the A in the shape is the attitude. Know the attitude of your flock. You are an entrepreneur. Do you know the people that you are hiring, their attitude? And if you get into somebody's organization to work, what attitude do you take there? Once again, you are welcome to the Attitude Show. And again, today my guest, as a sequel to what we did last week, is Honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong. He is the MP for Asin Central. I told you last week that he has never lost any general election in Ghana since 2000. I also told you that he is a dreamer, he is a visionary, and he is also the chairman of the Defense and Interior Committee. In the past, he was a chairman for communication. I think he was again the chairman for local government. And currently in this parliament, he is the chairman for the Defense and Interior Committee. That is what you know him about in the political circles. But when you come to the business side, he is an accomplished businessman, he is a successful businessman, and he loves to share his business ideas with people. Welcome again to the show, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong.
Thank you very much.
Last week, it was the maiden edition of this program, and I was so glad that you pour out your heart. It is not everybody who will even go personal to share how they attempted some businesses and failed. You went personal and shared those experiences. Since last week, what has been the response so far from what you shared with us?
Well, response has been very, very positive. I've had several calls without politics. People are encouraging us to continue. They want to learn more. So I think it's encouraging when you hear people talking about the attitude And some are sending me videos, WhatsApp messages about people. And the problem we have here, there's a Nigerian who has written a very nice piece talking about doing business in Africa. And my brother, when you finish reading it, you realize the problem is not only in Ghana, but everywhere in Africa. So it's a canker that we have to do something about. If not, Africa will always remain an underdog.
So it is not only a Ghana issue. And I am so happy that when we did this program last week, a lot of foreigners are watching it on our YouTube channel. And one of the things that inspires me is that they are calling that you actually step up this work, especially our brothers from Nigeria, because they say they listen to you and they also want to benefit. So as much as possible, we should factor them in our discussions so that they can also get to understand what we are saying. So today, it might seem a bit different from last week because you are seeing me speaking a lot of English and not speaking Twi. That does not mean we won't speak Twi. Twi is our language, it's part of us. Maybe tiwa me bi so she business bi ase bibi kakra also ono so sua bibi. It is send ye no last week no saa na ebe ye no. Na mo maybe ene de brofo no ebedoso kakra asentwi no. But ye be try say ni nyina no de pese ye ka ema obi ate no ye be ka ama obi ate. Honorable ansa na ye be ko enadwumadie ne so no. Ebi mo kan fa last week program no senka program we de be ya eye lectures ankasa senka university ye kirade na wo kire enkofo ebetimi kra ye bia ye ntimi ni mpanyfo nka ne ye mpushi ma ade na wo kire ni bi ye mfa ngura ye suku curriculum nim so that from primary school to university people will have the opportunity to hear these things in our school system.
Well, I think it will be very interesting to introduce this. Just that I don't know if government or the institutions, individual institutions, will accept it themselves. I remember when we were doing a program called The Entrepreneur. The Entrepreneur, there were two schools of thoughts. In fact, a colleague, a friend of mine called me when he was at GIMPA that one of the lecturers was using me as an example. Another student also called me from Legon that one of the lecturers was criticizing me. Say, well, it's part of life. So you don't expect everybody to accept you. Okay, so I don't have a problem if they think it's an interesting program that will help students especially. So my target of this program is the youth. To take their destiny into their own hands, they have to shape their attitude positively. If not, as a nation, we will continue to have problems. As a nation, we will always be considered as underdogs, even in our own country, because of our bad attitude. Yeah. So if anybody thinks it will benefit students and they want us to come there, why not? We are glad to do that.
We are glad to do that. I mean, if you are a leader or head of an institution, educational institution, and you would want to have some of these sessions. And again, to my junior brothers who are heading the student representative councils and the various units in your schools, let's talk. Because we believe that some of the things that we are hearing here, if you are passing out through the educational system and you know, it becomes easier for you to succeed when you get the opportunity at a go on your first employment. So today, Honorable, we would take the time and go into the three areas you mentioned that this program we're focusing on: government, entrepreneurs, and employees. But today's session would be dedicated to employees. How do the employees, their attitude affect businesses? I open up my business. How can somebody I employ come in and collapse my business? Because it's mine. So if somebody comes in, I don't expect if my business fail, I blame it on an employee.
Well, thank you very much. You know, when we talk of employees, we are talking of individuals we employ, we recruit to work for us. The workers are the employees. And workers can collapse your business easily. Let me give you an example. In Ghana here, it cuts across when you say workers, government workers, private workers, individuals doing their own business and everything. You know, here, about 4 days ago, Metro TV called me and they said they used the word, "We've stolen your program. It's very interesting and we are going to do it." I said, go ahead, because the problem is enormous that one TV station cannot champion this alone. So I'm glad you are also taking it. What he told me was that they started going round, and in the private companies, especially the banks, by 8 they are seated. 8:30 the bank is open. They went to government institutions, and 8:30 they saw just a handful of people or workers. Now, if the work is supposed to start at 8, how it's going to affect your business is that the work is going to start at 8. 8, you do 8 hours, so you close at 4. The person comes in at 10. 2 hours work has been sacrificed. 2 hours work has been sacrificed. The manager who should instill discipline and make sure they report at 8 is also very comfortable with the workers coming in at 10. The 2 hours gap is money. Because if you have about 10 people who supposed to start work at 8 o'clock and started at 10, you lose very big. The same group of people who started at 10, because when they start at 8, they close at 4, they want to close at 4. If you are late and you said, okay, I came in late, so 8 hours is 10 to 6, you can be pardoned. But my brother, he will come in at 10 instead of 8 and close at 4. If you are not lucky, he will close at 3. You are losing between 2-3 hours. So if you quantify that, and you have about 5-6 people of such behavior, you're definitely going to lose. The man hours put in will be reduced. And that man hours is money. It's a productive hours that they've taken for themselves against the company. So definitely you are going to lose money.
Now you talk about time being productive hours being lost. A lot of the private institutions or other foreign businesses will normally, especially when it comes to lunch, provide lunch to their employees within their working environment. But there are some public sectors that normally do not do that, and people will now have to go out also for lunch. So for example, if a staff is now coming at 10 and the staff is supposed to go to lunch at say 1 o'clock and going through traffic to go out, by the time the person even comes back, it's 3 and they are closing like 4 or 5. So it means we are losing more of those time through the attitude of how we treat time in the kind of work that we do.
Yeah.
Is it not an issue of you, the employer, to enforce that your time is salvaged and the person stays at work?
See, you've used the right word, the employer. The employer is not the entrepreneur. The employer can be the human resource. The employer can be the chief executive of the company who is not the owner of the company. Business. We have to establish that. Yeah. So there's difference between employer and entrepreneur. The entrepreneur is the one who organizes or put the factors of production together to create business. That's the entrepreneur. The employer is the one who is responsible to manage the place and therefore has the power to recruit or employ people to work for. Now, let's take it one by one. You see, the problem we are addressing here is that the employer, if he doesn't have good people to work with, he alone cannot oversee all these things. So he needs to hire good managers who are strict, who doesn't care the names they will call, but if you do the wrong thing, you will be fired. If he's able to employ good managers, then he can relax. So what we are talking here is the mindset of Ghanaians that we need to change. Why a Ghanaian is seen as the best worker in America or Europe is because when they say 8, it's 8. And they make sure you go through the 8 hours. And after 8 hours, if you want extra hours, maybe overtime, they'll give it to you. Or you go home with your 8 hours. Because they instill discipline in the workers that 8 o'clock, 8. If you come in at 8:30 and you don't have any tangible reason to give, you're out. Here, they will have a pastor coming to beg, an auntie coming to beg, a politician coming to beg, uncle coming to beg, asking, going through your wife to come and plead on behalf of such people. And when you yield to that, that's the beginning of your failure. When you yield to all these pressures, that's the beginning of your failure. Your business will collapse. And when it collapses, all these people will not be there. All they will say is that you couldn't manage your own business. So the attitude of Ghanaians, the one coming to beg, is a problem. He has a horrible attitude. Because elsewhere in the US, if you are fired, you don't have anybody to come and go and plead on your behalf. You are fired, case closed. And because that human being knows that without that job, he has no work, he has no life, he can't pay his rent, he becomes focused. But here, because they think they are family members, they are friends, political power behind them, so they can do whatever they want to do, and they go scot-free. Such things are hampering development, and we need to address that. We need to address that. The one going to beg for somebody who has been fired should stop. The unions that come together when somebody is fired to go and defend, we are going to demonstrate, should cease. But I'm not saying that people should be fired wrongly. Yeah. No, that is not what I'm saying. But if you are late, you're supposed to start work at 8. First time, you came 9. Second time, 9. Third time, you're out. You have to fire the person, get somebody else. And make it known to the workers why Mr. A was fired. So that it serves as a deterrent to the rest of the workers. Another important thing that I want to digress before we come to the substantive issue is that here, why we have a horrible attitude towards work is because we don't have good work ethics. Example, Ghana here. I'm restricting myself to Ghana, although I know it's applicable to other African countries and the rest. Our horrible attitude is that he knows he's supposed to come to work at 8, especially me being politician and having a business. He will come at 9. When he's fired, he will go back and say that, oh, Honorable Ken, that politician, he's too low, he's wicked, he's this. He's able to say that and go scot-free because we don't have a system where any worker who is fired will instantly be put on records on your file that Mr. ABC, they were all working at Kencity Media. They stole equipment and they were fired. It's on your record. So that when you punch their social security,
pops up.
The date of birth, it pops up. You've worked A, B, C, D companies. You stole this item and you were fired. Right there. If you are not able to give any tangible reason, you are out. You will not get a job. If we have a record like that, people will not go and give excuses and lie to people that, oh, I left the job. If you were late 2-3 times with warnings and you've been fired, they input it. So the next place that you are going, as soon as you give your date of birth and your social security number, they input it and it shows where all the places that you've worked and why you were fired. If we are able to do that, it will serve as a deterrent to a lot of people so that they don't mess up this company and go to another company to mess up. Because by the time you get there, I've had a lot of information on you. And I say, no, you can't work with me because of A, B, C, D. You show it to him. This will help. And we thank the Vice President with his digitization, that all these things are coming up. National identification will be able to link every individual to his national ID so that if you are fired for stealing a cup from Kencity, it's input there, you know, anytime they come, they can find out. This will, one way or the other, will deter a lot of people from doing whatever they are doing. Okay? Now let's take it one by one. When we talk of attitude, I've questioned a lot of employees and they said, my salary is not enough, I'm not this, they don't pay me well. I think it's a flimsy excuse because when you were looking for a job, you negotiated for your salary. Why do you take the job knowing very well that this is how much they're going to pay you? And after that, you come up with an attitude. How they kill businesses. A man who said that he's not going to go into production because of theft. The man who has it gave me another example. He said, as I was talking to you just this afternoon, I went to KFC. I drove to wherever the window to take my order. And the guy was on the phone talking to somebody and the man was standing there. I'll not go back again.
The employee who is supposed to serve the customer,
the customer was on phone.
And the customer was just there waiting for him.
Yeah, what did you do? The attitude of the man himself is also no good. Why? You should have reported him. I would have reported you. Today, let me give you an example. I'm traveling on Sunday. I have to do a COVID test. They brought a bill of 1,180. I've paid. They've done the test. They've gone. Then I get the call that, oh, we are sorry. The amount we gave you is wrong. Because one person is supposed to be 495 or so, but we quoted it. So the 4 people, we are short of 800 Ghana cedis. How can you tell me that your calculation of just 1,980, look at the difference, 1,980. You brought a receipt of 1,180 and I gave you 1,180. Only for you to come back. I told her, look, lady, you should be fired right there. You should be fired. Look at the margin. Assuming when you came, I had spent my 800 on something else. What were you going to do? Were you going to give me my test results or not? Were you going to wait for me to come and pay the 800 before you release the results or not?
You paid your part of the deal.
Case closed. And such person, he should have been fired right there. Okay? So the man who patiently waited for the guy to finish talking on the phone before giving his order has also made a mistake. He also had a bad attitude there. Because I would have reported you right there. Right there.
Memfa we in na there's example bi a obi man say ukura shop ana ukura mall ana supermarket baby enipa na eto hu se wawura mu a asif se wo presence na wo de aba ho no kra no eye wo be sei omunkomo ana obibi omudi eti ono no be sori no no na behwe wo no no te wo no hwe se wo ko chini ehwe de opeda wo busa no question kra se ade a wo pe ehin na obehu no de wi ono kwa bi ekobi obeso ya kwachiro no ono ntimi ka se ko ne kohwehwe
na ntimi modin Kenneth Kenneth example of the man see as ofri palace and eba wa me yi obi adi we see his American attitude what you say also akogina o to ade o hwehwe ba bi ayi no no onim girl no gina o ka kye ne say na wo nko na nko hwehwe and was on repeat asem na o kan ni bi also nko no nko hwehwe o repeat no sesa gina hoy no fa phone wasi ona no yere nyonko o fa phone o ba no se onipa we this is what is a minim ayi e okra on kyerem ba bi o wasi me am nko hwe yayi na di I clap for you Kenneth yes she has to be fired yes o gina ho na also also okofie na akosu mo also okofie na akosu mo se wo ko na obi serve especially restaurant wamuna asif se wagye ne kunu ana wagye ne yire ompedwuma na ejai unim sakatuya ni swa and now decide so obeye so no excuse don't come and give us any excuse attitude means they don't even smile at shops uko shops no more the way you receive people and a manipa eba de bia betwade oh mami we dey okon shop oh girls no o me very nice mami can story be true before America buy fe na MTN no from space phone o ma ba no mo wo obeche bi lamte sa eho no they recruited minimum how they train them how chese the way they will smile at you and spend. What do you say? Attitude. Polish a year South African company in Dubai. Till date, MTN is the biggest. You see the solid foundation they built. They set that into customers no minor. The first mobile network they want to go is MTN because of how they started. So if workers do not change their perception, their mindset, and the attitude towards work, you can be the most richest person. As you said, 3 years when you form a company, within 3 years, about 70% of Ghanaian companies they collapse. 10 years, about 95% collapse. Mostly is because of lack of supervision. How we supervise the workers that we have employed.
So, if the entrepreneur sets up the business, then he will hire the executive to lead, and the executive now hires people. So it becomes a responsibility for the supervisors to make sure the entrepreneur's investment yields. Yeah. So more or less, attitude na koso na enya more supervisors na ya famono. Monso so mo part of employees ni bi. Mo na wose mo hwe emane koso. So then esi then the ban say supervisors and employees etimi ekambo. Say yen say obi adwuma.
Person ono so employee.
Yes.
Yes, supervisor.
So the employee. Attitude, etimi
infect. From the chief executive to the cleaner, employees.
Yeah.
The entrepreneur is the one who sets up the business and employed all these people to work for him. Otia said, when it comes to Kencity, I'm not even here. I'm not the CEO. Madam is the CEO. He has the rest. All of them are employees for Agyapong. But if I don't have good employees, the business will collapse. And if I also don't marry my job and say that I have hired people to work for me, I'm going to lose. So I always have to go there myself and check what is going on. If chief executive cannot fire you as the owner of the place, I can fire you. I'll come and I'll fire you, walk you out of the place. I don't need you. That's the only way I can move. So when we talk of the employees, it's from the top to the bottom.
Okay.
It is not only the ordinary workers, but the CEO, the directors, the managers, the supervisors, they are all part of employees.
Okay. On the attitude, you know, Yaba major thought on two things. Was staff when it didn't pass, so teams or yard the my results, but the attitude in yet. Sign pan sign now handle. And the second point is that how does bad attitude affect others? And so it may be. But answer the person short interviews via a conduct about this topic. Now a bit more experiences of with some of employees of Nomi Ejuma. Afe ubedru ya baby I want to say aluta the management baby I criticize bibi anye, and you are always influencing others, exaggerating problems and gossiping and binye and no answer video dey ready but say unya sanko phone but they are high performers. How do you deal with them?
You see, how do you say they are high performers when they cannot work with people? Because it is not an individual. It's an organization. That collective effort and a progress ever. So if one person alone stands out, say we're hard working, but like you said, he cannot work with anybody, then don't tell me say a human no bet me akos. If you cannot work with anybody, it means you are part of the problem. Because it's an organization. One person cannot do the job. So whether you are smart or not, you should be able to manage the people. That is why you are called a manager. You manage. So if you are not able to manage the people and you think you are the only one who knows and you want your bosses to know or see that you are the best, I'm afraid without the collective effort, the whole system will collapse. We should be able to begin to conscientize people to take their work seriously. You should let the people know, the workers know that that is where they get their bread and butter. And without bread and butter, you have no food on the table. Some workers think working for Agyapong at Kencity, they are doing me a favor. They should change that mindset. It's a give and take. Okay? It's a give and take. You work for me, you make money, they pay you. Sometimes, in most cases, I mean all the time, they pay them before they even pay me. So where they don't make money, they make sure whatever money they get, they pay the employees first. So I'm the last person to be paid. Therefore, you are not doing me a favor. You are doing yourself a favor by working to me. You should have been fortunate to have a job. Others elsewhere are looking for a job, they can't get it. And when you get a job and you are working, you think you are doing the person a favor. Another big problem is we are about 6 in this room. Why I wanted you to ask or tackle is that when they see Agyapong, that is a hard working, Then the rest, the group, start to undermine him. They undermine him by saying, we are Juma Tisa Buada, Juma Odia, O Papa dia, and what fun say, we Juma, Unkwan Odia. They say such things to discourage hard-working people, even in the companies. They call you names because you are working. Even when you are going to report to your boss of the daily activities, they will tell you that you are gossiping. That is a big challenge. Hard-working people are chastised at various institutions in this country. That is a big problem that we need to address.
Why would you envy somebody who is hardworking? I remember in the year 2001, when I was a student and then I had to travel to the UK, and there was this job that I had with this Polish young guy, and it was part of a construction work. It's a student job, so you go into this small construction, and when we go out to where there is no camera, this Polish guy will come and say, wait, you see, there is no camera here, let's sit, you are pushing me too much. And what you are saying is what is, ringing and bringing this. So he feels that the pace he's taking the job, he cannot. But when you come in and you are a serious person and you are doing more, you rather have to slow you to go to his tempo so that he satisfies whatever he wants to do. We will take a commercial break, but whilst on break, we will play back the video on our YouTube channel for those, the interviews for those who could not watch on our YouTube channel. We will be right back.
Yesuban etisa efise ohwe yejuma nketo eye ukofo nua bi fi okurase ba na obese wajuma se abankura kofo bi fi ba onu se bia watena boti agent odi aboti nimdie bi kra e baga na a oba yen nti na odo ba yo na mo sikadie obenya di nti no ono ni interest na obese bibia na ama abana anima den agurase because nyema ekoso o man ha no de obia adwuna ye sika nko a ama o man no eden essay. So Jumera any worker in Temunya, nephew work and Suban. So Suban ya o boss no better fine. But boss buzu once ya and them can you brain tea on share workers. Emma workers to me the bonnie. What I say? Best ya more table na most of them if yan shops more and acquire containers, acquire tabletop no. But we also be a community, so we go tabletop and can say.
And here we are not going to recommend anything that will not meet your need. Health Alert Clinic comes your way as one of our sponsors for this program. It is a herbal clinic that provides services using herbal and organic products. Coronavirus is around. It is always advisable to visit a health facility, and I'm recommending Health Alert Clinic for a thorough checkup, especially if you have an underlying condition. They treat illnesses as diabetes, if you have chronic diabetes, chronic hypertension, stroke, numbness you don't feel when you are touched, waist pains and muscle pains, ulcer, prostate issues. If you have menstrual problems, burning sensation in the foot and body, chronic body pains, waist and bones pains, you have typhoid, your cholesterol is bad, it's always up whenever you go and test. You have STDs, STIs, gonorrhea, syphilis, you feel dizzy, you cannot sleep. All you need to do is to visit Health Alert Clinic. They undertake ultrasound scan, massage and physio with machine treatment. They undertake laboratory services, and they work from Mondays through to Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Health Alert Clinic is located at Medina Post Office behind the First Atlantic Bank. The telephone numbers are 0242 518893 and 0242 518865. Health Alert Clinic. Let's go herbal. Have you heard of Kovi Tiger Nut Powder? Kovi Organic Tiger Nut Powder is produced from 100% organically grown tiger nuts. It is grown home here in Ghana, no chemicals added. It is made from carefully selected dried tiger nuts with no additives, purely organic. It is a powder which is rich in source of dietary fiber. And you know the advantages of dietary fiber is it helps you pass stool freely, and it cleans your bowel and make movement so freely. It also helps in fighting constipation. And then it contains nutrients like carbohydrate, proteins, and saturated fats. The powder is loaded with vitamins A, B1, B6, and C, as well as minerals like calcium, iron, potassium, zinc, and sodium. Covey tiger nut powder slows down cellular aging. If you are aging and you feel like your cells are aging fast, it slows it down, controls your blood pressure, promotes healthy digestive system, good for weight loss, fights constipation, regulates your body sugar. If you test and your sugar is going up, it brings it down. It is good for pregnant women and lactating mothers. It relaxes the body and fights insomnia if you can't sleep. It boosts your sexual libido in both men and women. This is how it is prepared. All you need is cold or warm water. It is not used with hot water, cold or warm water. Just add any amount or quantity that you want to have. Add it to your beverage, your smoothies, or even if you have some pastries you are eating, just add it and then you take it. You can contact them on social media platforms. Their website is www.coveyfoods.com. Facebook is Covey Vinyo and Company Limited. Instagram is at Covey_organic foods. WhatsApp is 0200-777-277 or call 020-789-1339, 055-8400-265 or 020-777-277. Covey Organic Tiger Nut Powder, a nutritious food for the family. Now, Honorable, let's come back to this very important question, like what you have presented. If you want to juxtapose this to what happens in institutions or businesses that are run by foreign managers or foreign leaders, can we say same of the attitude we see in Ghanaians who work in such businesses?
Thank you very much for this question. When you ask this question, the answer is simple. Then you can blame the Ghanaian attitude on managers mostly. The CEO, the directors, the managers. Why I'm saying that is that in Indian companies, Lebanese companies, Chinese companies, British companies, all foreign nationals operating business in this country, their businesses are thriving and ours are not. That simply tells you that the problem, a horrible or bad attitude, is from the workers and the managers. But the workers can be managed in such a way that they will conform to the company's policies. Why I say so is that in the Lebanese companies, you see that their top hierarchy mostly are Lebanese. Indian companies, top hierarchy, the managerial are, or the management, are solely their countrymen. And because of that, they are able to change the attitude of the workers. And you see them working efficiently than the Ghanaian own. Because the Ghanaian, the CEO and the cleaner, their attitude is the same. So as a CEO, he doesn't even see anything wrong with it. For instance, last week I was in my village. And I saw that my whole compound is covered with sparrowjara, green. Got the boys there, they live in the village, so they don't know or understand what is cleanliness. And in their homes, they are so filthy, so when they come to my house, they don't see anything wrong with it. That is the Ghanaian CEO and the Ghanaian ordinary man working. When you take these foreign CEOs, they inculcate discipline in the Ghanaian workers and they conform. That is how come they are succeeding in this country. I will praise the banks, Ghanaian banks in this country. You see the routine workshops they take their workers through. You see Ghanaian businesses, showing competence and showing progress. So if you are comparing the two, why is it that you work at Palace? As soon as my son called the owner, he fired A. If it was Agyapong's place, when you fire, you get another colleague of mine to come and beg. You see the difference? So the problem of attitude is Ghanaians themselves, and we can change it. Because if foreigners have come to establish business here and they are doing well because they have a good attitude, why can't we change and also control our own destiny?
Achifo, a day into na yensu intimi sisa because a jume bia Ghana for a yibino, abrofo or a ho ba ebe yibia, no more dear aye. I didn't na yenye dear enye. And I honorable no. Nipa na wo ya fa se be ye adwuma no se bi oni nipa na wo no adwuma wura ne fa so mehwe na adwuma so no nyina omsuban eye baako adekro na nti se de owo form ne ya manager ne so onhu bibia bone a e fa ho ti ono so ma ho kwan na ni nyina ekoso saa na meka atiefo se ye wo YouTube live oko net2 TV GH e wo YouTube a program yi live one sanso e wo Facebook live net2 TV GH Oko UK Sources Radio afa program yi a omonso broadcast say sane be ya education no ebekoso ama Ghana fo aye wo baabia ensesaye enye ye aye wo fie nko baabi bia wo bia wutie program yi ubetimi afamu aba ubetimi afre wo nua bi ne nakasa nipa bebre kasa wo omo di sika bre mu nua no mo fie so mo hwade so mo ana asai unya kwan tie program we bia obehu niema e wose wo ye e de boa wo nua no so ha no mo sesa efi omo attitude ne ho honorable membusa we there was a report or a research work bia enipaku bi about how ana textile manufacturing companies na work Ghana ha na doso pa ane how a collapse e bebre na ne kakakra bi no mo hwehwe mu no mo identify niema ni bia e boa ma omo company no guye no eguye dedi kan omo se omo hu se omo ayafo mu o se adwuma mu no one omo under voice or over invoice I mean or ye invoice ada se bia niema no bo na odi bisika ni bi aka ho ana no ate so ebi nso wo ho a omo wia ankasa ebi nso de oye ne dai adwuma no oye no time o pen oba adwuma aso bia ntimi nye ne hwe ena ebi nso interest wo procurement baby aye kototo niema ono nko na o se odi animu no koto niema because ono nko na onim nipa ade na ye pe no ko ne ho a se ne one ne beka no saa niema nyina na keka bo ma sa companies no baby na eguye
yo but before say me address where you one makai bibi back na me more doctor bi abaso nkai ni din ye but Lancet Quest East Legon ha you need to go there safo monko na monko twa pictures na monhwe how Ghanaian has set up a business masa otinifie tienie because ho ekoye MRI otifie ene ohun se mabaho otuka ba first one mekoye CT scan no one office ohun se mabaho otuka ba the second one ka se mekoye MRI owofie ene ohun se maba hospital otuka ba he is married to his job that is what I mean na ukọ na uhwe Lancet for say no si ye adwuma na dey compare kolebua it's so appalling when him be share nurse for me and sabi and me no mo kasa and they all opted for private companies ba no say ebi mu ntua ye ni ba ro mo good private companies they work well and say mo nurse for mo nipa mo horrible attitude when you go hospital na ko obi yare why na person obo yare ma no why na person obo yare ma no so we call government hospitals send your nurses no esi treat patient abrochira kia close to most of the hospitals in this country because a hodie ofiri wa no okosiwu omu tia patient no mu didi o matem no mu yesei chese wayi nani na wo kam na wayi nani they have no human sympathy owi a onu tuminya nerves say aban na katuasa esa ni ehwe ni yi monko papa yi ho East Legon ha ya na monko hwade de monko twa mu wi a monko government hospitals so na monko twa na mo hwade a horrible thing na kolebu de do ko emergency pe na che se wuwu ano emergency na se wo mu a ye do mu ko kolebu emergency ho no si aheda na ya botri modin ama wo mu memi koto ho kuntokwa emra mi papa ebe wuo ya mi kolebu emergency na doctor bi oho mi hwe ba bi otidi na mi bisa se oh say na otini na apparently sa omo senior nurses bi a omo no kura ye higher than doctors ni enti no say senior nurse no na in charge inti me ko ebisa no omo problem I wanted to help come call omo pharmacy eyi ho no mo che me nneoma omo hia na me ba ya be hu doctor the way a senior nurse ni kasa kire me no na me so nsuo bo a so ye bo kika madwen kire no ankasa ese ade achi mi papa be wo no o se Catholic sofu me bompa e man o sofu no ko wa o ka kire ne se me ba ho ntwema so na me na ka kire se mko Catholic church na mko Catholic church sofu be bi e manyina duri ono betumi atwema so you see say nurses are ewo kurom especially the government adabi ebi suma bonko omu mu nipa kapre enti omu ka asa me mu omkra me ka chese me mu because yenya abo mu wiem koduro na obi yare a aso wa sheda na wato yare ama ne ho oni pe suffer you don't have the patience me see abrochire be yi wadi one touch na aircon nyina no report no aircon na hospital no ekofo you got a bad name nobody will go there but how they don't care me say kolebu omu wiye ndro no koton across na me see no there nukura de be ka wo kana answer na yewu
a lot of scan shops
me say omu fa ndro no fudi ha say hospital ho no ma koton wo across na doctor no a kirew se ko onu ne private hospital wo yare no o kirew se ko me kirew attitude enya ordinary person nko managers are included doctors in painful no betimi aka kire me doctor bi me yare wo 37 emre bi a na ya appendix wo de insani nam ha wa hunu hwie bo me pande ana bibi ya ye me na mada meso na pay na ba wo de young doctors bi na de bi om de be guinea pig ti da ko me nyonko lawyer mankwa oba obi a me yam ya ena omubo omama aduro mi ka se me ntimi use bathroom for nti anadwene me use bathroom 8 times the next morning doctor no oba am emergency ho ohwe me fa so no se em fa me nko ward ohwe ya ohun se me use bathroom 8 times wa mi sam se duro ne de ma wo fa se de na o ma me so a ya santo ward de duro ha o me say wako wa use bathroom 8 times nti infectious disease.
Wow.
I remember very well. And on April 2000, President Kufuor Baho Besrame, when he came number 12. Omuti was saying, "I know who said, oh my press conference. On the palm President Kufuor ne kwam number 12 from the word attitude. When him say, Doctor, no, I'm tempted to mention his name.
For now, dear.
Doctor, your friend Akoto, Dr. Akoto, are ANC. Why shouldn't we mention his name? Sana, also attitude ni binu.
No.
You also have an attitude. No. He's not here. It happened to me. That's let me land and you know. Okay. You see, you don't want us to mention it. What better na ka bro futintintin na attitude. Also attitude ni binu.
Me okay with it, but also only an internet American sanke.
Your friend Dr. Kutu. What do me call? Or my me call ni clinic. Ewo abekala pass kwano so ye yi me ko 37 kwa ye niamania esa dim beto nothing could be ti kofi amankwa ne buy no kan say krachi obi akura green card ya denti na oda na ye to ko twa ticket oba ne metutu drip na me si ho my ready yes mo man bill na me sign mu from America ba mu ye too known and then ye me see am ye too known kra me that's my life, let me sign for you. Me wua enya na ye let me go and tie niye na ja sa on pese me see friend Dr. Kutu we call St. Augustine's because emre me tu kwa no ne makonta Dr. Wilson no mu gina sa airport restaurant ho and oka wakunta ni na ni adi no me see wo me yam say guinea pig. Now listen, Dr. Mensah or Kingsbridge Bronze tieniye the difference you know ya kan attitude once also show attitude jamonko any do body emanye them also horrible attitude. You also have to change. Let us shame them. Dr. Mensah ochi ni clinic our Kingsbridge our Bronze me call ya private hospital Ghana ni ofurachi moda what me told ni stretch as you order nsa e fa me hasi but this is appendix is swollen we Ghana ni doctor adenti and 2 weeks na me da 37 ya the young doctors he back ya be hwe be ko be ba nothing could be. Dr. Mensah me compare no to broni o me pese me chiro attitude na tie ni ye. Dr. Mensah edin nsa e kan me ha ohun se eye appendix na swollen tie attitude ukọ abrochira usisa. There's a medical doctor here when you accident. My an operation ye but Mensah untimi maso. Yes, onkoji letter and free doctor no ho. Na onko America no yen. We letter doctor no chire. Ocho say wonu sa doctor we stubborn or Timoto bike so. Is that what you have to write?
Nipa na wo referral.
Yes, who now here surgery ni man into or call further up America. Many Alex Mark can see a bit. That is the horrible year or throw against any colleague doctor when you accident. TNE Dr. Mensah, who said me what problem? I say, listen, abrochire, one attitude is different, one ethics is different. What Dr. Mensah said was that. Why you proud, say we detected, but upon confirmation, he referred me to Dr. Keleji. Onusu wa concourse nusu 220 oh baby. Said go for another. Ghana ni anka. Why you proud to say why should I refer you to another doctor? So I went to Dr. Keleji, referred by Dr. Mensah. We call Dr. Keleji, or the other share menum say amayo life. No me share also appendix, it is swollen. And the animal adofo, listen to how much it cost me. It cost me $160 Cipro. And Dr. Koton would me ya guinea pig. Me see a come. Me boy, your friend Kendrick. I can't no to charm. So holding heart. And I'm saying no. I want second opinion. The boy was born in America. And I'm about me too no. And then you see Dr. B. Sarkozy say why cerebral were the most one doctor. My foot. He nearly killed my son. And I'm saying no, me play. You didn't be caught. And I'm here say crash you didn't be caught. Listen, Dr. Cerebral tie ni ye. Akola na odin ko to one na nka ko twitwa no. Mo yara musrabie. Misro no. Akola na nka ko twitwa na wo so ye the specialist awo Ghana. Okoya no ma succeed. Mo say Dr. Ben na catch her say. Why the catch her so holding heart? Wait, it too close. Go and see Kendrick. Kendrick is there. I don't na mo de mo pese ya kan gre na me mbodi mabodi me sesrebo e wo kolebu me ba no ma ready ko twitwa me se me mpene I need second opinion. You didn't go to America till date. My son is still there. Why you tintini? Holy heart free. Are you kwano? Masa, a serious problem in this country that we have to address. And you but na manya gentle because a gu Ghana yam koyenim foreigners have taken over this complete country because they are disciplined. They know how they work hard to make their money to come and invest in this country. So we need to change our mindset, our attitude. We should be bold to name them. Yes, we should be bold. Me, Mr. Dr. Kotomi, me. I've told you, Dr. Srebo, who Kayana, a friend Kendrick Agyapong, who go to channel, me say me play. Yeah. And we have a big problem that we have to address it anytime. We are not going to shame anybody. Say, we are not going to cover. We are the name Wagana Mwanipa, we are going to say it. And they are mouthing on Asian platitudes. And we are this, we are that. A lot of things are going on in this country that we have to talk about, honestly. And the brand here, Mr. Agyapong, Oba, Yenya Kukudro, Mr. Wadiyemi, your friend Dr. Kutu, me nam kind. Opa, me challenge me. I have witnesses.
So the issue is not one a person or yentin on one do call a private.
Yeah, so I heard it. S01 Jiska. Attitude be me call 37. Me crowd am see my top machine DBM. 37. Woman mara say CT scan crash say nti yamawa no akọ baabi no akoye. Na papa yi wo ono one person etimi wo East Legon ha. Wan say me sig media me kan okore. Wan say oye kama mani aso na adwuma ye ntimi bo ne din. Wa wani mani anso meka. Ukumia hey me wuko wansu be wubi nti I don't care, but people will change. People will change. They say aban hospitals CT scan ni ho MRI asay so wo koye kolebu dialysis betimi adisu be 3-4 days. And so private companies are manning it. Masa, your attitude here, we have to change.
Your attitude there. Honorable Kankoli was seminar Akaime and Medasukuta Sadi we see. Last year, na Dr. Bako refer me to Kolebusa Menkoye spirometry tests. Mikochini Kolebua Koloketi chest clinic area Hokwe. Fortunately or unfortunately, me could do honoma. Yes, nipa or share sa office na me test no dan nipa na mejuma.
No money din.
E besine test no ma nkoye besine me
nye.
Oh, ela maka ba bi esi maka department.
Doctor Ben na koye awa ama no. Doctor Ben, you see the problem
because me need din wa ha because doctor refer me din
program wey dey so onya kukudo
when refer doctor refer dey din wo so but the na me ko no dey but unfortunately yes the panel management ye ntimi anye spirometry test and like honorable can in September and me too kwan ko US Atlanta kosra me family my last boy yare ne ko hospital ye ko ye yes, on koye spirometry tests. Yadi abofra ne koye within about 2 hours or no maami abefie was say kutekuta niema bibikwa na makoye test na boso ye koye ase abuku no na say tester Ghana me metwa ho kwan East Legon Kolebu menya anye no akoda we ayare ana ona kan say your attitude wo ka sense nye say bia ye ntimi o ye betimi aye
wonso kan because person
maybe e didn't dey ni ha
e wa hack mebo e ka ho ne yanku
ona bo e hack mebo
say you were stopping me
e wa
but I see man the other thing now say me
man just say because na the personal
I have
interest.
to mention the name because obi ekwa na fe wa hwe ni ye obi ekwa no wa hwe ni ye yeah
atifo ye beba ahoma no so nansa na ye beba no memfa ade we entwam Freddy's corner Chrome had ye say wo pe baby a wo benya phone papa ato a Freddy's corner For 5 times, Ghana na the mobile phone dealer of the year. 5 times. Open Samsung, Nokia, Infinix, Huawei mobile phones. And now we hear TV sets, air conditioners, laptop computers, domestic car washing machines, mobile phone accessories, beer Bluetooth, charger, or the bed charge you. Conductors are here in our Freddy's corner. Once ebe can be. Ghana had ye baby a repair phones and a laptop Freddy's corner. Freddy's corner obetumi contact you mo 0544 959 195 or 020 7937 323. Freddy's corner, your home of authentic mobile phones, home appliances and accessories. New Life Homeopathic Clinic. New Life Homeopathic Clinic are experts.
New Hope. Abekana pass yo.
Baby, I will call you.
Yeah, baby, or them call you. Even 37, mama call you X-ray, ni whatever you know. Because New Hope.
Open clinic, there New Life Homeopathic Clinic. New Life and then New Hope, New Life Homeopathic Clinic. Omo ya experts ewo dear ma mebebo bosi prostate condition. Se ojunso bebre anase Johnson no entwesi emeye obemem o discharge enema film. Infertility we buy bema untimi enwo low sperm count or menstrual disorders. Anase stroke honam baby eye ya pains wom wonte atinka wo baby wotena se kakra bi na wabre uti ya wo ya untimi nda hypertension ewo so wo gonorrhea, sexually transmitted diseases and infections bia, diabetes, erectile dysfunction and premature ejaculation freno PME na ko New Life Homeopathic Clinic. Omo a doctor for and omo professionals ombenya abotre ahwe wuye kama physiotherapist ayatiti omo from KNUST ewo ho a ombeto omboase amassage wuye ama baby bia wonte atinka wo widie mu no ho ebeto kama okoda nsoman first runabout near King Solomon ho no mo Kumasi nso Atasoman so ura Santasi Tokromo na usania na woko A Life residency area ho no ma ho na obehu New Life Homeopathic Clinic. Wait me afre Dr. Mark J. 0243 950049. New Life Homeopathic Clinic, your health our priority. Show ye pe New Life interview so after this attitude show New Life interview beba ntiti men sorry enko ye befa calls kakra na hwe almost wo experience kakra almost person almost share ema yehu. Hello. Good evening. Da ufrefi hin ye frau say
but your friend Alaji Galba me frefi takwa
Alaji maninko yetio
you made the Mamintia on for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. And then Mr. Padmore, who hope to program. That program, I'm with the attitude there. A man, I am who near Momopa or Mangana. The air coso, the air, the Beman, whom now be not the air catch on young Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. The beyond Kwanma or Mangana, now being at it, so. Na mintia onumyan for na bo George Mlekubita no sebe
ya dase obi foforo nso aba ahoma no so a yebetimi na kata. Hello. Ya fro say na free he
Mbacho me kazefi ko feridia
pacho man ko yetu ya fro say
hello me kazefi ko feridia ya femenok
Enoch Maninko. Enoch Kasa iti. I'm saying Enoch Ahumano intimi enyina so ye. Ofra so TV no low volume no na kasa ye but hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your first kasa free.
Pajo me kasa free. Okwase.
Now din say
from
Agyapong yetio.
Hello.
Yetio Agyapong.
Honorable, ban political way, how the many general, but do in some say this year. I am not managing who papa. If is a doctors need a kunkum amount for because of omun security. Na asamuno endru bebia. So, but ono we sika kakranti na me na adumuntinu. Na dudumwa who say bebia enye holy heart, enye si. So on say the meeting. Eti no me mo de na me ni onya ekra anka on fa me say bodyguard. Na me mbo no ban man free.
Yo, yate. Yate honorable dawase. Na send your class about politics. I only know ingredient bodyguard no ebede. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, but your first and everything.
Hello.
Hello, Yatunka Udini baby free.
And first people do room.
Okay, Kasa, you too.
My first people do room Liberia camp. Yeah.
Mr. Ofra, ya na wadum u TV no volume no. O kasa wo telephone ma ye beti. Amani 0240550899 with me afre. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Your first o kasa fe.
Because I'm a Madina.
Yo, yet you madenko. Yet you.
Me pacho me ma is that Agyapong me man to my pa or ye papa. Papa we nyan mo omaimu. Ewo omampenya anything can Ghana ebe mu papa o kana kure. Ya so the owo na o ma no kure edi weni ma. Bro. Bia isi wi so owu kura na obunya osoro akopon wan
Yeah, that's it. You ever fire last caller na? Yes, I have a studio. I bet you comment. Hello. Hello, Udini baby Alfrefe.
So good evening.
Good evening.
What's your name? Local. So we didn't Koku Asidu.
Okay, Koku you too.
What the owner about the Yamishran? The Danasi. Nadia Bakwana with the MP on platform ya want to say. Oh no, I do Bakaniana MPP party in Yana almost find judgment. See a slump telephone do with Vanessa Mokan. I have almost seen a Babu party.
Yeah, that's it. Yo, yeah, the phone in session in Bessiana Yaba studio. Honorable, ya be na ya wrap up na. They na o kano yes ye be nemu ye be shimu no credit the baby dano and I de beto send na asem ne kono. I was trying to say nipa ni hentino but send o come who say it was personal interest be bem so no ayi na fio e de na ko baby no no a person ende no se fata say otimi ka ebodi kire nipa kra o yes ade ba no enti ye ni ha say bia ye be ka send o ka no aba begu obi animu ase anaye hye obi but ade na esi a ye beka se na bia ye nyina ye be improve on it
ba maboni din ye friend Kendrick Agyapong
yeah
esi Dr. Srebo na omo kotwitwa no ani am say me mpre friend me yiri say no don't allow I need second opinion by Americans so let's take him to America ye kwa no mo da form twitwi no mo siri was upon was say I've been a doctor for 37 years I'll put my profession on the line. So a crowd doesn't have hole in heart. Why not catch it all? I'm not from almost three. I said, go. You go home. You see. Say no one casa a bit close. And never heard me tintin in the cassie.
And never heard it tintin in the cassie. At you for and the actual for. Yet I must say, and then so.
But fame Trano, callers, no some more fra, won't contribute to Namunya praises. Yeah. You want to solve Prona Agyapong and Yamisha on your share that Adiana we one casa experience. Share it with us. And the baby at me in praises in the doors to them way.
And may sure say even a bad nurse for a subania nipa bibri experience bibri ka. nansen and sipe bi ewu ye ne the way e bi mu handle no yansesa ye suban a President Akufo-Addo kan say bi o say economy say ya ebetumi aye ne yewu na nipa nkwa ye hwere a ye bede ne nyane no enti yesre ye nuanom a mo health sector mo ye adwuma ye ni so pa enye mu nyina bebre na ku mo eye adwuma
oh yeah not person say bebre
nanso ebi mu wo mu a omu suban President Magufuli motisa Tanzania oko hospital baako empire dida sokra na bi ni ho from the E02 bia omomo one and oko 1 week oba na mpa bibia sisi ho omu ko fa na we ye betimi aye na ye mum ye suban Africa Ghana yensesa ye beko yenim honorable but any last comment be at the ma oh sabi ye ka say ye youth ye ntina ye de magunu no
me emrantie no a mu tie ye ne yi no se mu tie na mu fabu aba na wo ye adwuma e ma obi a through that onipa nkura betimi aboa e na wa set up see there's no guarantee say wo ye adwuma ma me a eno kire se me meyi a kire ebi a usubampa e kwan abefa so aye madwuma ntino obi kura na beba befa aye wadom akobie adwuma ma wo na wonso wo de aye odifo enti honesty die e riches ndi munyimuyam se mba ye adwuma wo ye adwuma ma obi a emu akonta mo ani nso na wunya na embom no wadwuma den a wo beye he na be ma nipa no ato akatuam enye obi ani wa mpanfo bu bebi wase hwinhwuma de ekosoro those who steal from where they work they never succeed in life because the law of karma will set in. You will steal from me to go and establish your business. You employ people because you alone can't do it. Somebody will also come and steal from you and collapse your business. Ebi aname de crowd enti ade ya ye adisua ema ye nyina ye nya kukuduro ne share experience. That's the only way we can change as human beings and citizens of this country. Ye pese about 80% of businesses in this country will be owned by Ghanaians. Wait a minute.
Yes, Damase. Me pacho honorable Ken oni any Facebook account. Eti nipa wako fan the picture edi gigi sikaka shenkofo say appointment abana omon friend